We're super happy to be here. It's not just Ben and me, it's also a couple of other great people from our team today, but you will learn more about them in a few minutes. Maybe a brief introduction. So I'm Sven, I'm one of two founders alongside Ben of Zeedz. My background is in video production, storytelling, design, marketing, if you want. I founded a not so small video company in the middle of Europe. We created lovely little videos, and yeah, as I said, coming from the storytelling side. And yeah, I'm here with Ben, right? And I assume most of you know Ben already, right, Ben?
Well, that could be the case. Yes, so super happy to be here today and see all the familiar faces. Yes, I did work before at Dapper Labs before founding this company together with Sven. And yeah, basically the way that Sven and I know each other back from university. And at the beginning of last year, kind of like we thought, well, we met again and we thought, or I told Sven a lot about our work at Flow, at Dapper Labs, what we are doing. And we kind of got together into the conversation and thought, well, we want to start also doing something with NFTs. We want to start something building on the blockchain. And we love this paradigm of, play to earn, which is a wonderful, paradigm that players can actually play games and at the same time earn something. But we thought at the same time, well, there's so much more that you could do from that. And so we kind of like started off with this general idea of play for purpose, basically. And play for purpose is our idea that those things that play to earn can basically leverage. So basically use players that are there for the fun, use players that are there just for opportunistic reasons, and we can use and leverage that for a deeper purpose as well. Without being just simple a charity, but also, of course, still enabling that play to earn thing. And at the same time, we thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if that was actually something connected to your NFTs and that they would actually grow with something, that there's something that you can do with them. And this is precisely what we did with Zeedz and why we founded Zeedz and came up with this idea. So what we want to do at Zeedz is basically connect those two things. Basically, by playing the game, users collect financial contributions to climate offset projects if they want or not. So basically every in-game purchase that you're doing goes directly to carbon offset projects. And at the same time, we tie game elements to real-world weather phenomena. But I think, yes, when we are going to go into details on that later, right?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I will give a brief overview, and I will just jump here through our super full slide deck. All those little creatures you see everywhere here on those slides, those are what we call the Zeedles. Those are the little magical creatures that live in the world of Zeedz. And you can imagine Zeedz like basically it feels like playing your favorite childhood collectible game. I'm definitely a Pokemon generation. I don't know about you. But always like Pokemon, the most of us have like at least a feeling towards this. So, and you're having those magical little creatures and you care for them also in a bit of a Tamagotchi kind of way. You make sure they are okay, you water them and you do a lot of cool stuff. And as Ben said, by doing all this, you're contributing to a higher purpose. And I will run you very briefly through the user flow. How does it look like? So actually, if you just join us when we have our game live, you basically start with a seed pack, like one of those beautiful packs here. And in there you find a seed and you plant the seed into the ground. And if you're doing a good job, like taking care of the weather, of all the influences, you plant the seed on the real world map. So you have to check all this, but Ben, you will go into this a bit more in detail in a few minutes. Your little seed hatches into a magical Zeedle. And now you can level this Zeedle up by watering it, by solving little cool daily quests. And by doing all of this also, I don't know how much time we have today, maybe we go into this at another time, but your Zeedle basically produces fruits, which is our own token. And you can customize your Zeedle NFT. So you can apply growing recipes you find in the game or in the marketplace or in packs. Like, for example, here you have this cool green Zeedle, and now you found this icy growing recipe, and now you have to fulfill a certain kind of task, and then finally your Seedle will start glowing in this icy blue thing here. You can evolve your Seedle. Obviously, most of us know this procedure from Pokemon as well. And in the end, we have, so the first Seedles are 100, and they all belong to different rarities. So we have common Seedles, like this little chubby, fat, but brave magical almond here. Or we have those legendary ones, like the Lotus Seedle, which is super strong and rare. And so at the heart of Zeedz is always like the connection to the real world. And Ben, maybe you want to talk a bit about this weather stuff.
Yeah, sure, because you saw all those awesome little creatures that Spencer showed you. Basically, they all don't do well at the same place. So kind of like every Seedle has their own weather conditions that they're very good at. For example, a succulent Seedle would probably do better in the desert than it did in, icy Norway, for example. So we thought it would be nice to tie the gameplay elements directly to the real world weather phenomena. So you'll be able to plant your Seedle on the real world map and kind of like find out through many more rounds, which you can imagine, kind of like a staking auction, to be honest, and really find a spot where your Seedle really grows well. And this will be kind of like the major element of this growing game that we are building. And by this, we are trying to, of course, collect those financial contributions, right? But at the same time, players that just want to get better at the game, they are always nudged into, finding more about real world weather phenomena. So we're translating basically that as well into carbon offset credits. And also, I think what we want to say as well is the bigger part that we're focusing on, behavioral change and leveraging, behavioral change of a bigger community as well. Speaking of community, I think Sven, you got some things to say there as well, right?
Yeah, and I will skip a ton of slides here, and I will just, after this overview, what Zeedz is about from the game perspective and NFT perspective, let me show you where we are. So we had from our point of view, quite successful NFT pre-sale, which started shortly before Christmas and ran for 30 days. And we managed to, sell a lot of packs and raise a lot of money, which brought us in the beautiful position to already have a great team of, like, how many are we now, Ben? 15, 16, I think. Awesome talent on the team. And so what happened exactly 1 week ago is that people who participated in the pre-sale, who bought their seed pack, were finally able to open it on our very own platform. And what we also did there was we had a little challenge. Like, people were like, if they record their reaction to this pack opening, they were able to participate in the giveaway contest and had the chance to win another seed pack. And you can now check out our Twitter and Instagram. We had, like, I think at least over 100 very great reaction videos. And I brought you one here today, which I think, gives you a very cool insight. I hope that the audio is transmitted as well.
I think the audio won't work, right? But
probably not.
Anyway,
no. You can talk over, maybe.
I will play anyway. So this is how it looked like. So you had this pack, and it was shaking, and like, this is a live reaction. This is not staged on true reaction. And then your Seedle was popping out there. And you had this little card. So I'm hearing the audio, and I have to stop myself from laughing again. It was just a great experience. I mean, we had the goal, right, Ben, to create one of the coolest NFT pack openings out there, and I think we did a pretty decent job here. So now we have the Zeedz platform live. You have your NFTs in your wallets, and you have those beautiful glowing cards, and many more cool stuff to come. But I think so far, for now, for the general Zeedz overview.
Yeah, and I think what like really helped us there was of course, building on flow. I mean, that proved itself again to be like super helpful and easy for our developers to build on. Which now I wanted to talk about our development team, because we have an awesome team there. With Nathan in the front end, Marco as QA engineer, and of course Luca, which some of you might know from a project before, who is doing our flow development, and Sergey. Sergey is our lead backend engineer, and they brought you just a very short overview of kind of like a service we built for this application. And yeah, I think Sergey, maybe if you want to go ahead.
It's loading.
Yeah, I think it's still loading.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we can also start, explaining a bit and then maybe send a link afterwards to the diagram.
Okay. Maybe I can start with describing. So our goal was to make event-driven architecture for our minting process, because we was needed to mint a lot of NFTs, and we was needed to be sure that all this process will be as a continuous process where we start step by step, send some little batch with transactions, and here we got an idea of using a combination of SQS queue from AWS to store our events, what we need to do, and to use DynamoDB to store our keys. So basically, all our transaction contains around 20 transactions. So we used. You still don't see my screen, right?
No, unfortunately not. Maybe if someone else has the diagram, they can share their screen and you can talk over it.
Yeah, I think maybe
without diagram, it will be very hard to explain it.
Kim also suggests to check your sharing permissions if you're on a MacBook. So if you have like a pop-up that says, do you want to share your screen, make sure that you allow it.
Yep.
Yeah, or you can just send it to Ben or Sven and they can share their screen.
Yep. Okay.
So yeah, I don't think I have access. Wait.
Let me double check. Can you refresh the page? I just add more permissions.
Sorry, let me check. Okay. Yeah, sounds like that worked. Okay, let me share my screen finally.
Yep. Thank you.
Sorry for the delay. Yeah, I think you should see my screen now, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Sorry for that.
No problem.
Wait.
Yep. Exactly. So here we we have users who not users. Our API is GraphQL API. So we sent a request to our Graph API that we need to mint a lot of beautiful Zeedles. And this process starts with sending messages to our SQS queue. So each minting transaction is one message in a queue. Then we have a Lambda function. It's a consumer for this queue. We can consume in some batches, around 10 messages for our type of queue. For this queue, we use first input, first output type of queue, which allow us to have the duplication of messages in the queue. Then we, from our Lambda function, create records in DynamoDB table to lock a key for this transaction, and we set a TTL, for example, for 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes, this key will be automatically released, items from database will be automatically deleted, so we don't need to care about listen another events to release this key. And when this key is gone, we can reuse it from our Lambda function again. So so our Lambda function can use this key and send a transaction to mint a process. If something fails with our queue consumer to get a key or maybe with transaction, this message will still be in queue, and we can retry a bit later, maybe in 10 minutes, in 5 minutes, how we can configure it. And if in some amount of time we didn't proceed this message, we don't, for example, we have some technical issues, we can't mint it, this message from queue will go to that ladder queue message for later. When we fix all technical issues, we can start this process again. So no message will be lost, no message will be disappear somewhere. Everything will be stored in this queue for 7 days, and we have enough of time to fix all technical issues and fix it. So and another part of this architecture is to listen events from Graphel. For some events, we successfully receive notification about this mint is completed, and from Graphel we receive a webhook to our REST API. From REST API, we proceeded with another Lambda function and sent this data from webhook to another queue. And here we have another consumer for this queue, and we can found this data in our database and update their statuses to mint it. So this is our event-driven architecture, which is can scale to very big amount of transactions. It's decoupled, and it can survive any problems if we face, for example, with database or with network or with anything. It can be in a replay mode if something happened. So this is it.
Thanks, Sergey, for presenting that, and super proud of what you guys came up with. That's awesome. We are working hard at also open sourcing that, so that ideally we at some point in time we can present to the Flow ecosystem something that you can spin up in your own AWS environment, and then just have the kind of same experience. But we don't have any ETA on that. We're working hard on our game right now. But yeah, that's definitely very cool stuff. So I think now we have one more thing from Jerome, right? For the NFTs.
Yes, that's right. Hi guys, nice to meet you all. My name is Jeroen Keukendeur, and some of you might have seen me around since I'm pretty active in the Flow community. And I've been with the Zeedz project since the jump, and Zeedz has grown a great community so far, and it's still growing day by day with a lot of active supporters. And for myself, as a Zeedz supporter and a world improver, I wanted to do something for this project. So I've been talking with Sven a lot on what possibilities are there, and we are actually gathering a bunch of ideas on what can be done. So a couple of months ago, my buddy Genzu, shout outs to you, man, he presented me the opportunity to get Zeedz out there at a real live event. So no internet, just a real live event, and which happened last month. So at that event, we were showcasing Flow and the Zeedz project at a booth, and it was the first NFT event in the Netherlands. So that's where I'm originally from. It was organized by the Blockchain Netherlands Foundation in a former prison building. So there were no prisoners, but a lot of people that were interested in what we had to offer there. So lots of gamers, artists, investors, programmers, and even a museum owner as well. We had a great chat there. And along with the Dutch creative startups in the scene, there were also some flow partners like Rarible and The Fabricant. And also at the event, there was Auction House Sotheby's, and they were auctioning one of Fabricant's OG dresses, which was sold out for a whopping 7,000 euros. And overall, I must say it was a pretty awesome day filled with presentations, workshops, drinks, and snacks, and a whole lot of fun. And it's been a pleasure to do this for the project. And yeah, I'd like to do way more than this as a Zeedz ambassador. And there is an after movie. So Alice, if you have the opportunity to show that, people will get like a good image of what the whole event was like.
Awesome. Yeah, maybe one or two more words from our side. It's as Jeroen said, so the community at Zeedz is quite special, and thanks to you, mate, for like being a part of this, being so active. I mean, it was a physical event, like it wasn't in front of a screen. So big shout out to you. And yeah, Ben, right? So in general, we can only encourage everybody to join this lovely, cozy community. It's still cozy. I hope it will stay cozy forever, but right now it definitely is. So, and just as Jeroen said, so we are super happy for everybody who supports us on our mission and this purpose we have in the heart of our project. And yeah, just hope to get in touch with many new people maybe after today. So yeah, that was my final sentence to close this presentation. I don't know. Do you have any more thoughts, Ben?
Infinite coziness is the best way to stop this. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the Flow team for having us here today. And any questions, reach out to Sven or our community or me, or join our Discord server. So we can answer you any questions also you might have. Thanks for the opportunity.
Awesome. Thanks for joining and talking about Zeedz. It's an awesome project. We have some questions from the community, but actually, maybe, Carol, can we answer a couple right off the bat, and then we can maybe leave the rest for after, during the community highlights?
Yeah, the first one was already answered, actually.
Yeah, so Ben and Sergey, we're definitely counting on the cloud template for this, okay? I have to admit, this was my question. So I sent this before you mentioned you were already planning on open sourcing it. But it seems like a really cool setup. So yeah, we're really looking forward to being able to use it.
Andrea, we will make a special functionality for you so that you can trigger it from Alexa as well.
Awesome. Even better. Cool. And even though you kind of already mentioned this, the next question is, when can I buy a Zeed?
That's a very good question. Sven, do you want to tackle that?
Yeah, the non-technical questions. Give it to me. So what's happening next is our own peer-to-peer marketplace will launch in a few weeks. So this might be the first chance for everybody who wasn't part of the pre-sale to buy a Zeedle from somebody else. But shortly after this, there will also be entirely new pack drops. So we only released 45 of the 100 first Zeedles so far. There's a lot of more stuff to come. So yeah, and it's only taking a few more weeks.
Nice, awesome. And well, let's also answer the last one. When did the sustainability portion come in, and what made you decide it needed to be a core part of Zeedz?
So sustainability actually comes in as soon as we open the marketplace. So on every transaction, we will have a 2.5% fee that goes to our carbon offsetting partners. And those are actually, I think we can kind of hint at already. We are working together with the gold standard there and the UNFCCC, so kind of like the carbon credits market from the UN, and also trying to deepen our partnerships there as well. And that will come in from the marketplace. But then I think the thing that will really drive it is once that the growing game is live, is that every time you plant your Zeedle for a 5-day period, you actually have to water it. And this water will, for 100%, directly go to those projects as carbon offset credits. So yeah, this will basically be, in our scenarios, the most impactful kind of way to gather those things. So really to have a transparent chain from the user's wallet to our partners is like the ultimate goal that we have here. So basically playing the game, you are carbon offsetting. Yep, that's it.
Cool, thank you. Well, as Ben and Sven and the whole team mentioned, they're going to be around in their Discord. So if you have additional questions, we might have some time later. Otherwise, hit them up on their Discord and check out the Zeedz website for more information.